What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get caught, then you must get through. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I choose, I should dictate, but I also have to be prepared which one to use. The lower extremity. Say he comes in real quick with the right. I realize that obviously I'm not going to step back to try to kick. I'm going to move from my position. So from here, I'll pick a close quarter weapon system. If I'm further back, a medium, and then of course long distance would be a foot. That's important to know and to practice, for you can respond spontaneously. So you don't have to try to manipulate or adjust your position. Wherever you are, you can select your long, medium, or close range weapons. Number one rule is this: always punch a soft target with a hard weapon system. Number two is the angle of delivery. The punches have to be delivered in a downward angle. Notice for the knuckles to be reinforced by the wrist, to the forearm, to the elbow. And the other most important factor is that the elbow has to stay about 6 inches from your hip. The further that comes out, or the further it comes out this way, the weaker your punch becomes. You have to almost fuse this elbow to your hip. So now when you're punching, you're rotating your whole body mass. If I am here, I have to step in towards my target and rotate. You see how the belt buckle goes from here all the way till 10 o'clock. That gives me that rotational torque that I need to really use the power. From here, as I come in, notice that how the elbow is so close to the body. I'm going to go right down here. Notice that it's right below the belt line. I'm not going to go for his abs. That's not a really good target, especially with a washboard like he's got. He can take some substantial punches. But you notice when I come down, if you freeze it, you can see the line of the angle. Notice that the knuckles are guaranteed to hit first. As I penetrate my target, I then circle out. The reason I circle out because I want to establish some fluid shock. A static would be this. Quick pops. Fluid shock would be that. Notice how I penetrate the muscle and continue to move in there. The same thing when it comes to a punch. A static punch is one of these. A fluid shock is where I penetrate using muscle mass. For thigh, static shock would be like this. A fluid shock would cause the whole muscle and body to maneuver. Fluid shock means I am penetrating the muscles. Static shock means I'm retracting it. All right? It doesn't give me enough power. What I want to learn to do is maximize the amount of strikes that I use and minimize the amount that I have to deploy. Action causes a certain specific reaction, and I want to know what action I'm prepared. For example, if I want Rob down lower, I'm going to cause an action. Here, he goes down lower. That's what I might need. From here, that knee will lift him up to open him up again. All right, so we call it the rule of 3. Anytime I'm going to deploy force, I'm going to do it at least 3 maneuvers. If I just try to do 1, he can defend against 1 maneuver. But defending against 3 is extremely difficult. I'm going to overwhelm his senses with an offense. It's not be excessive, it's just going to be assertive, and I'm going to overwhelm with at least 3 maneuvers. If I go to throw a punch, block the punch, Rob, he might be able to block that. I throw a second punch, he might be able to block that. But if already now I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm overwhelming him, he cannot continue to block. All right, therefore, you can't just throw 1 or 2 techniques. We do it the rule of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. are a multitude of targets that people don't even think about. Down low here. Drop. Normal people that aren't really trained go for here and above. A lot of what we call headhunters. All right, because that's all they know, that's all they see, so they want to go to head. The trained fighters do not. We as police officers will be the trained fighters. But you have to learn to deploy a proper and accurate and functional punch. A punch to someone's face, duck your chin down, Rob. And Rob does a defensive mechanism like that, just tucking his chin, is going to cause a defensive move for him, break my own hand. Obviously, as soon as he does that and I break my hand, chances are I'm going to respond to that broken hand, giving him the opportunity to overwhelm me. Or, now I can't go to my handgun in case it goes to that level of force. Therefore, I'm going to specifically target soft body areas. Also, along with your positioning of your elbow, the importance is the positioning of your hand. If you put your hands on your side, put your hands on your side, Rob, and I put my hands down on my side in a natural position, look where the hand position is. It's not this, all right? It's here. That's the exact same way we're just going to bring it up right to here. So when we deploy or execute our punch, it's in that fashion. You notice on an angle, but I'm going to hit with the two knuckles downwards. I'm not doing it this way. I'm not doing it this way. I'm just doing it right in between, here, all right? And then I'm going to rotate around. The reason I rotate around, as I told about, I might decide to move in with other things. The shield work when it comes to punching really starts to identify if we're doing the technique properly or not. One, when you very first start off with these, do it without any hand protection on there. Because after a while, after 15 or 20 minutes or not, if you see redness on these two knuckles, that means you're developing the proper punch. If you see redness on the end, that means you're not developing the proper punch and you're hitting with the wrong part of the hand. This is the easiest part of the hand to break. This is what you want to be hitting with. What's important about the punching drill, is that everything has to be brought into play. The proper stance, the proper positioning of the elbow, the proper positioning of the knuckles, the proper rotation of the hip. Now, as a trainer or a partner, I'm going to be watching for all these factors and feeling it at the same time. Okay, now one thing, his strike is proper, but he's not executing a lot of rotation. So I want to start here, I want that hip to end up over there. Very good. See the difference. I feel the difference. After we focus on the basics, we have to learn to expand. Because in actuality, we are not just going to explode with a punch. All right? He's not going to be open to that target. So what we do is we open him up. Open him up would be here. By simply bringing his heads up here, causes the reaction we want. He's going to block that strike. As soon as he does that, that's when I move in. From here, from your interview stance, here, up, then down. Up, then down. Because what it's doing, you notice when I do this, I am actually torquing and winding my body up ready for my flashbang. From here, distraction momentarily allows me to come right back. From here, 1, 2, 3. Right now, I'm going to be offensive. One, because he's already knuckled up with me. I'm not going to wait for him to throw the first punch. All right, so here is one. Boom. His hands go up to defend himself. From here, I come in here. He responds. Step forward here, elbow, and then again here with the leg.